Episode 7, the season finale.
Is it 7?
Yes.
We've done 7. We haven't done 7. We've done 6. We're here for 7.
We're here for 7. Welcome. I'm Megan Tommy, the head of brand for Flatlander Studio. You are watching the Flatlandery show on YouTube with my illustrious partner.
It's jumping back to my camera quite a bit. Maybe my levels are a little high. Let me just come on mic 2. Walk that back just a little bit. We got a good boy alert straight away over there. Get a little bit of that tail. You can see it.
I know. He's such a good buddy.
Thank you for coming on the show right when he's down there.
I know. Hugging. Yeah. Okay. You are.
Oh. Me. I'm Nate Voss. Sorry, I'm a professional designer and business owner. Not me. It's me, Nate Voss, founder and managing partner of product design at Flatlander Studio. We are a mobile software design and development company based out of Kansas City in Overland Park, Kansas. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching us on YouTube. Exclusively.
Yeah, it's our solo distribution channel today.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we use OBS and YouTube now.
We have all season.
Yes. But now, and we have been using Restream, and I mostly had a good experience as the technical side of the show using Restream. I think they generally do a pretty good job. Some of it was really hard to make work. I don't think that was Restream's fault.
I don't think it was Restream's fault either.
No.
And it wasn't OBS's fault either.
No, OBS is doing real well. And boy, does OBS, as we just figured out not 20 minutes before this, does OBS and YouTube, they are best.
They're married.
Yes, they're super married.
Yep. So who's the culprit here?
Hey, thanks to our viewers on LinkedIn, Chad, and thank you for following us over here to YouTube. Yeah, we learned a lot about video and especially live streaming on LinkedIn. We're now streaming and doing video exclusively on YouTube.
And live streams on LinkedIn are encouraged to feed the beast, feed the algorithm. And that gives you certain bonus points, stars, flowers, whatever it is that you're supposed to get through LinkedIn to bump visibility and notoriety and authority and all of that kind of stuff. But it is, to me, self-defeating. It was problematic from day one.
I think they give you tokens to feed into the machine, to deliver more tokens, to feed back into the machine, to gather more tokens. And yeah, we struggled. I don't know if we successfully a single time streamed our live show to the live event set up specifically to be that live show. And I'm not certain we didn't create double live shows each time. So thanks for watching if you were watching over there.
And I'm sure that somebody's figured it out. Somebody has success in that channel of live streaming or dual live streaming on both channels, but we have a preference now.
Yeah. So
we have data now.
So we have data, we have results. Thank you to the people at Restream. As we are currently streaming to a single location, we are not engaged in that platform at the time, but
and
I
it's
give
working.
A thumbs up. And yeah, okay. So we're here. Megan.
Yeah.
Show 7.
How
should we spend our time today?
Last tangent conversation we have was about vibe coding. And I think that is particularly relevant to our line of work because it is something that wasn't quite as, I'm making this word up, tsunamic 2 years ago when we started as it is now.
Right. Oh, yes.
Right.
If we can back up the clock and rewind to 2024 when we
were hatching
plots and plans, one floor immediately above this studio, we did not have the ability to code our own apps.
Yeah,
we really didn't. I am fluent's the wrong word. I can read and write Swift to a limited degree, generally around UI, which is my specialty, but not enough to actually produce an app. And so our first app, InTimer, we are
hired,
V1 of InTimer. We hired a really, really great developer, and he brought that to life with us. And that was what we had to do. And it was always as a small studio of 2 people, how are we going to develop the software that we want to bring to life was a huge problem that became less of a problem about a year ago when Apple brought some chat coding tools directly into Xcode. We used ChatGPT, not even their like coding tool, just like, yo, chat, what if it was
Can you
this?
make code?
Can you do a code on this code? And sometimes it could. Maybe I used this line before. ChatGPT is the Sex Panther cologne of writing code. 60% of the time, it works every time. As we took that on our new app, and we knew that we had a big refact on app number 2, late winter and spring, and we knew that we needed a more reliable coding partner, and we switched over to Claude, who's really taking the lead there, and that's been a really successful move. So
good. I am the layperson.
Yes.
As far as development goes.
Yes.
That is not my discipline, my expertise. However, brand is, and what I was seeing in the marketplace were ads. Base 44, Lovable, what's this? And so I'm beep bop boop. What is happening here? And that's where I learned about vibe coding last fall. And just to level set, just to define our terms for people who don't know what vibe coding is, it was one of the founders of OpenAI that coined this term last year, and soon it became word of the year or something with Webster's. I don't know. He said, vibe coding is when you, okay. You just take this in. You just take in his definition, and let's just see what happens to Nate. Vibe coding is when you fully give in to the vibes, comma, embrace exponentials, comma, and forget that the code even exists. Okay, hold that.
Okay.
Hold that. So basically, it's coding by feeling. And you're manifesting, you are expressing your will to the agent, wherever that agent is. Maybe it's Claude Code, maybe it's Lovable, maybe it's Bolt, maybe it's an AI agent inside a tool that you already have. I don't know if Figma does this or not, but
Figma kind of does it.
So,
does it.
Agent of your choice, you're just going to vibe with it. And that is what is going to get you your app. Okay.
Can I just take a moment with
that? Yes, hold that.
Extremely do not recommend doing that.
Good. Now we're going to dive into the why. That's what this is all about. But I do think there is a gamut. There's a spectrum of vibe coding, right? Everything from kind of a full stack, like the Lovable, the Base 44 stuff, to something more like there are more intricate specialty developer agents and tools. Yeah. So it just depends on where you need to go. If you're a layperson and don't have any development skills, you're going to go to a full stack, right? Or something that's calling itself a full stack versus surgically going someplace that's made for a developer to use. Yeah. So I think from what I'm seeing, most professional developers, if they're using AI, they're using a combination of something that is productive and something that is the code, which is good. It still kind of preserves the back and front end integrity, maybe.
Yeah, I'm definitely not using it in any kind of sophisticated manner. There are a lot of tools and there's a whole side of this that I haven't, as a designer, and I'm giving the app designer perspective here. I'm working at a level where I have a little bit more technical detail into what's happening than I would have if I was working with a team of humans. Mm-hmm. Like I'm running the GitHub and I'm doing doing branch merges and pull requests and things that I would have no business doing with a full stack development team because they would be handling those responsibilities. But the rest of the time, what I'm finding, pardon me, let me finish that thought.
Okay.
The reason is I keep hearing horror stories of, well, we gave Claude terminal access, and they deleted our entire product and all of our backups in command line, so it's completely unrecoverable, a thing I won't let happen is let the AI push updates or pull or interact with the repository in any way.
That's the ugly.
Right.
That's the ugly. We're going to get to
that. So there's just no part of that where I want to trust a machine that does not have personal responsibility. It's the old saying, and I think this was from IBM, a computer can't be held responsible, so a computer should not be making decisions. I'm holding to that.
I think people are using that on the flip side, though. When something goes down, we'll talk about that. When something goes down, not my fault, man. Not my fault. It was the computer. It was the AI.
I'd say that is a spectacular way to lose your job. We'll find out. We'll see how this all shakes out. But so the way that I'm using it, and this is maybe where we're in the good.
Let's talk about the good. Let's talk about the good.
So I love working with talented, brilliant development teams, and I look forward to our company scaling and bringing more development personnel on, even with these tools available. That, I think, is the best possible future. When I'm working with development teams, I'm often at an architectural level discussing, what's our database layer, what are our needs there, what are our API needs, what do we want to handle on the
requirements
side, what do we want to handle on the front end. I'm a big let's do it on the front end type of person, but there's certain things where if you need consistency, you definitely don't want to do that because things can fall out of sync. There's an architectural level to how the whole thing works, whether you're designing or developing an app. And I've been involved in that level for a really long time. I still get to do that. That's still my role. And then generally when working with people, I say, hey, developer, you're amazing. Can it work like this? I needed to do these things, look this way, animate in these particulars, and there's still functional requirements per feature. Here's the things that it must do. I'm saying that to a developer still, and there's a little bit of icky in saying this out loud. That developer might be a robot now instead of a human person. But my experience as the designer and product lead is not terribly changed in that I'm defining requirements and passing them along and then evaluating results. And sometimes this is where the vibiness of it really irks me. No, don't write 6 new functions for this because we have functions for this already written. No. Don't go make a whole new system. The system we have works. You need to use that. You can't just let it run amok. Even Claude will rewrite the same code 6 times if you ask it on 6 different days to do, a similar thing in different parts of your software. Now, this is, again, my approach where, and this helps with, token usage and cost, where I'm just piecemealing one conversation at a time. Let's do this feature today, and not giving it free reign over the entirety of our development. But that's working really well. I'm getting discrete features made the way that they should, using the systems and the logic within the app and the logic layer of the app. And it's all working pretty well so far. We're getting our second app off the ground. We look forward to inviting people to test that in the not too distant future. And it's enabling a part of the growth of our company and our products that we previously didn't have access to before.
Yes.
I think that is a realistic... That's a real world benefit to us and our company that didn't exist 2 years ago.
And you're not the only one. You're not the only one. I found some really, you know how I am with statistics, so I really want to share some of those. The Pew Research Center says right now, 31 to 46% of U.S. adults use AI daily. 70% of Gen Z professionals use AI for over half their daily duties. Interesting.
Ew. But okay.
92% of developers are reporting that they use AI daily now. That's self-reporting.
I believe that.
63% of vibe coding users do not have traditional programming background. Okay. So that's the majority of people do not have even the working knowledge that you have, right? So you're talking about architecting and directing and being able to evaluate what the output is. Most people using vibe coding do not have those skills.
And that's the trap of vibe coding, truly.
But 25% of Y Combinator, the Winter 25 startups, feature code bases that are over 90% AI generated.
Very easy to believe, yeah.
Okay.
The time to ship is getting tiny.
And I feel like it's, at my last job, we talked about citizen development and the democratization of development. And I think these tools give us that, right? Like everyone's a developer now. And I remember I kind of had the same feeling when blogs first came out, like, oh, everyone's a writer now. Yes and no. Yes and no, because you don't always have the acumen and the skills to vet what the output is. And that's where some of that ugly comes in. So in your experience, are you saying that these tools are helping develop the thing right or develop the right thing?
For me, that's a wonderful question. For me, it's a combination of both of those things. We're building what we want to make. We're also architecting and delivering it in a way that we have control over. So it's building the right thing the right way, or at least in the way that we think things should be built here at Flatlander. More on that topic in the not too distant future as well. I think the risk in vibe coding is like, yeah, it made a Sudoku app, but it creates a login and a password and a profile that gets emailed to the Taliban, every 24 hours in a comma delineated list. Or, the horror stories of, all of my API keys that I'm using are unsecure and exposed on GitHub. And so other people are using them in their apps. And
yeah,
suddenly I have $20,000 worth of fees. And if you're not fluent and in a normal development life cycle, if you don't have experience there, you don't want to open up ChatGPT and say, build me a social network with login security and authentication, because you need to have a command of that in order to have a responsible business that's going to treat your customers responsibly. That's the biggest issue with vibe coding apps, is you just don't know what's under the hood at all. And the idea that there's safety in that is a farce.
I even think some of the expert tools like Cursor, they have their problems too. And even though you can program it to have security features or what your security requirements are, it may have it in that moment, but from what I'm getting, like these agentic made apps or experiences, they can change over time.
Yeah.
And so suddenly the security that you once had, you may not have it.
Oh, 100%. Oh,
you
have to be
tomorrow.
So careful about
Yeah.
it. Don't change things. Oh, chat was so bad about this. Like, hey, I need you to fix this bug. I can't figure out this bug. Some bugs I can figure out. Some bugs I cannot. Hey, can you fix this bug? Sure. Fix the bug. Deleted 700 lines of additional code. That's why I run my own GitHubs, and that's why I have my own backups. And I run Time Machine Backup and GitHub. Because it's like, what? It's like, yes, you did fix the bug. You deleted the rest of this UI view that we're looking at.
I think that the big benefits of vibe coding, wherever you are on that spectrum, speed.
Definitely speed.
And efficiency, right? So those are why people are using it. So things that might have taken 3 months now might take 30 minutes or a day.
Which is both true and insane. And I think that was a big part, like knowing that. It was people at Google saying, like, my 6-month project got done in a week.
Yeah.
And we're all still sitting back stunned because it is done. It is done to spec. It is everything we would have built, but it took a minuscule fraction of the time. And it was at that point I was like that was a responsible article. That was not a like fear mongering or some AI salesman on LinkedIn trying to sell a product. It was like, these are engineers talking about what's happening in engineering. It's like, okay, we can do this. This is where development and engineering is heading. A part of that being, you can very easily check if code is right. You can try to compile code and verify the response from the AI, and so that makes it easy for the AI to write. It makes it easy for the companies making the AI to train their models against correctness. Mm-hmm. It's very hard to do that with, say, law or economics or medical evaluations. Really hard to get that stuff right. But code is supposedly, each form of it is a logical system. I'm a designer, so I put code logic in quotes because I think lists should start. I think the first item, the number one item in a list, should be numbered number one. But no, it's always zero because the bits, those logical systems can be validated. And so it makes it this, that's why engineering and development, especially of software, is kind of the initial frontier.
Yeah.
The rest of it, to your point, is still very much just a sales pitch.
Yeah.
Our tool can do all these things.
And that's so seductive, right?
I just type in hey, give me the best web security, Claude. And then Claude says, here it is. But sometimes you type into a chat, tell me what 2 times 10 is. And it's like 100. And you're like, I don't think
that's right.
Do you know if you have security on your website? If you type it in, you might not.
Yeah.
That's the risk.
Do you think these tools make you a better designer?
No. Excellent question. I think they make me no more better a designer than working with a really, really talented and intelligent developer. And it's similar. I'd rather work with a human because they have points of view and they have questions and they can push your ideas further rather than just telling you that your ideas are great. Which, hey, I'm going to be honest, I do like that too. That ain't half bad. Claude likes all my UI ideas, gang. But a good developer as a designer will push you to think through limitations. It's the same. I always go back to, 1975, 76 when they were making Star Wars in the desert with half a budget and a crew that thought he was an idiot. All of those challenges needed creative problem solving from George Lucas and the gang, and that led to the ultimate product that he made, Star Wars. I feel like a good developer can, and the technical restraints around engineering software can really push a designer to elevate their ideas through that creative problem solving.
Really? Okay.
Still have to do that with Claude, but it's not the same. It doesn't make me a better designer. It does give me a faster route to validate ideas. On our new app right now, we're working on these horizontal scrolling list rows, and I had one layout in mind for that testing validated wasn't super workable, and it was kind of hard to read, and it would have been a much longer road to getting to see that. I have my phone on Do Not Disturb. I owe you $1. I'm sorry. It's a much quicker path to validating ideas and seeing your work in motion to know if it's correct. Yes.
And the flip side of that to me, again, just as an outsider, but as a creative, knowing that the process is part of what makes the end result so great. So if I shortcut myself, if the speed to done, that elusive done, check it off the list, ooh, it's done. If the speed of that and the time frame of that do not allow for the mistakes and the iterations and the conversations and kind of that, I don't know, it just takes time for ideas to mature, right? And to test and to make better. If that is condensed, are we cheating ourselves in some way? I mean, I want to get kind of to the bad part. To me, the bad part is commoditization of apps, and everything looks the same because everything's been pulled from the same code, or you know what I mean?
I do.
And so to come up with something really unique, to me, it takes time and kind of that awesome friction that happens during that special part of the process.
I have to lean in because I'm so excited to talk about this.
Oh, yes, do it.
Absolutely, the
commoditization.
Thank you, Megan. For apps is coming, and it's going to be soft colors, rounded rectangles on other rounded rectangles, and pill-shaped buttons. And a lot of UI designers, especially in the mobile space, have been designing that app for years now, which is why when Figma started training AI on everybody's work, that's the kind of work that starts getting delivered from those. So that's going to be the first draft of most apps that get made in the future, is that they're all going to look alike. They're not going to be anything special. They will hopefully do the functional thing that they are meant to do if they still have people planning them and orchestrating the product strategy towards those goals. What's really exciting is doing the weird stuff now. Designing an app built
Get weird.
Not to use those conventions. To dive back into the earlier generations and the wild west of app design. And I'm talking like the beer drinking app, the lighter that you would hold up at a concert. I'm trying not to say the fart app, but the fart app. And there was a time, even at our old company, under the guidance of Looney Tunes, they were like, what if we didn't design an app the way people think apps should be, but we did something really weird and tried to change the idea of what an app can be. And I can't believe that I'm giving this some credence now. For a while, I was like, no, you need to make your apps the way people expect apps to work. If it's a bog standard, like, airline app, like, yeah, you want people to be able to find their tickets and get on their plane and buy flights and things like that. There's some expectations you want to meet, but outside of that, at this point, if you want to stand out or you want to not have your product that you're putting, maybe yourself or your business, maybe your mortgage behind, you need to make an impact, showing up with something that doesn't just look like everything else, that isn't just rounded rectangles on rounded rectangles, that has a statement to make, that can have a huge outsized impact. The idea of like, oh, this app was made by people.
Yeah, that's going to be...
It's going to become, we've talked about this before, it's going to become, oh, this is the handcrafted jewelry. This is, I went to a specialty store and these plates were made by a person on their pottery wheel and glazed by them and put into their own kiln. And
how would you know? How would you know? Is there something that you can see from a web app or a mobile app that it clearly delineates, clearly says vibe coded, other than the round on round on round, versus something that you say, human, I can see the difference. Could someone who is not well versed in the difference, could they see the difference?
It's difficult to articulate UI personality, but if it's there, you know it. It's like, am I texting with am I doing a support chat with an actual person or a machine pretending to be one?
Good example.
It's those differences. I remember maybe a 2-week-long nightmare support chat with one of the largest companies in the world a few months back. And I was purported to be speaking with human beings. I do not believe that I was, because some of those cues and tells, and this just isn't the way that people speak or relate to one another. And that's there. And it was functional for the conversation that was happening. But when you actually talk to a person, you're talking to a person, and there's life and there's breath and there's even imperfection in them, and there's idiosyncrasy, and all of that. Not to get on my designer soapbox, but all of that is possible in design and in a great interface because they're on these devices that are so responsive and that respond to your physical touch, and that can actually, if you want to engage with the camera and have it look at your face and tell the app if you're in a good mood or a bad mood based on what you're giving them here, like all of that can be there, and then all of that can be expressed through you using the app and what the app gives back to you. But a computer is going to be like, put the window here, make rounded rectangle, 16-point padding, and none of that comes through. And so that's where I really think that handcrafted apps, handcrafted software will come back into, I don't know if it's vogue, but it'll come back into value from that level of experience.
Because that's what people respond to, person to person. I have an interesting example that I found in combination of this topic and the heart of our next app. It's a web app experience called Mixcard. It was vibe coded, but it's super simple. It just takes your Spotify playlist and it turns it into a liner card of a tape, and it sends it as a postcard
with a QR code on it, so somebody else could listen.
Interesting.
That's fun.
How useful? I don't know. But
Megan,
but a little charm to it.
Should a product's usefulness outweigh a product's charm in determining its value? Should that be the only thing? Here, you know what?
This is tough. This is tough because we are in an era where, sorry, I'm going to go deep because I always go. I go to this
on deck,
this philosophical place, but how we view humanity, how we view humans, utility versus person.
Yeah.
right? And what the value is. And I would say in most places in corporate America, it's utility. It is all utility is numero uno. I'm hoping, and from what I hear of a lot of pundits and people, particularly creatives in the industry, they're trying to hold on to the humanity and the charm and the imperfections, everything that you're saying, like what draws a person to another person. That relationship isn't based on use, it's based on love.
Yes. And my touch point into that was something I did over the weekend, just for fun, just when I had half an hour to myself. I've been vaguely interested in this. This comes from Instagram and watching Jordan the Guy use a stainless steel hand press juicer. Not a machine, not
a ninja
engine, not something you plug in.
Yeah.
Something that you crank down with your arm. We don't have one of those, but I was like, maybe that'd be cool. But I should just see if fruit juice is a thing. I think it's a thing that I would like to have more of in my life that I miss. Then I just took this little juicer that we have, and you just do the thing on it.
Yeah, that's what we do.
We had a big, you get the tiny oranges, the cuties, giant bag. Well, here's 40 of them. So I took 4 of those. I was able to generate half a cup.
Yeah.
With 4 oranges.
Yeah.
It was a decent amount of work. Not to throw my own glasses.
Yes,
but that was the best thing I have maybe ever drank in my entire life.
Fresh.
It was just fresh
Squeezed juice. I know.
Orange juice.
It is life-changing.
My God.
So what we're saying there with that example.
It's got to be the least efficient way for me in 2026 to get orange juice, right? Not utilitarian in the slightest.
But effort has value.
It does.
And effort, that value can be beautiful. Do you know what I mean? Like that experience was something that was transcendent.
It's been 3 days. I'm still telling everyone that I know about this half cup of orange juice that I made for myself.
Nate, welcome to Fresh Pressed Juice.
Man. Father's Day is coming up. Putting that out there.
Okay. What were we talking about?
We were going to do a good, bad, the ugly thing.
Okay, we did bad.
We've talked about most of them in passing.
Not that I want to end on a downer, but ugly. Ugly surpasses bad in this sense because we're talking security, privacy, and there's one other thing. Oh, data centers.
Oh, God. Yeah.
When we are on a computer and we're typing prompts away, like the end game of that, the long tail of that, we don't see. We don't see how the sausage is made, essentially. That this is the new sausage and it's not good.
There's people living next to data centers and you've got things like fan noise, and like the environmental impact is severe in these almost jobless warehouses just filled with servers just going full blast under air conditioning. And they're getting this constant humming noise outdoors, but there's also something happening with like low sonic, like it's below the perceptible frequencies that we can hear, but we can detect it and we can feel it. Oh my God.
You're feeling it. Your body is feeling the vibe of the cost.
Yeah. So Flatlander Studio shouts out to every neighborhood that has shut down a data center getting put near them. Don't let it happen. Fight.
Yeah, it's bad news.
That's going to be worth like destroying somebody's neighborhood with a data center right next door to it.
And my daughter came home yesterday saying, Mom, I think in our lifetime, in her generation's lifetime, we might see wars over water. And I was like, because the permeation of the data center projects, it's ugly. There's maps that show you all the projects that are up for, I'm going to say debate, but at some point, I don't know if there's even going to be debate anymore. I think it's going to be usurped. So that's ugly.
Smart kid. Yep. That's a downer.
That's ugly. But also, what was the first thing? Oh, privacy and security.
Oh yeah.
So everything that is vibe coded, whether it's professionally vibe coded and human architected, it still has that AI element in it. And you might have an AI agent that is solely devoted to your cybersecurity. It checks all the boxes, but it starts to hallucinate and it starts to generate its own thing. And you have it run its check and all of a sudden it identifies something and then it erases, your whole database. Yeah. Both of those situations are precarious for business and precarious for, the planet.
It's the multiple stories I've seen where it doesn't just delete your database, it wipes your backups.
That, yes. Insidious.
And then what are
Insidious.
you doing as a professional person giving an untested piece of software that level of access to your system?
Here's something for you, something that should keep you up at night. Developer trust in AI coding tools is down from 77% in 2023 to 60% now, but the usage keeps climbing. Trust is tanking. CodeRabbit analyzed 470 open source GitHub pull requests. AI co-authored code containing 1.7 more major issues than human-written code.
Oh, I'm sure.
That's terrifying. The speed is prioritized over safety or accuracy. So that's what it says.
Economics are prioritized over all forms of quality. That's been an issue in almost any industry. And so then we get to a point of like, can I trust? It's always been an issue since, since everyone, you remember when it was like, hey, don't put any personal details online? Remember the late 90s?
Oh, yeah.
And then suddenly like a Facebook or a MySpace comes around and it's like, type in your address and
everything.
Give them every piece of information you have.
To me, that was the long game of where we are right now.
Yeah.
Those were the seeds.
And now it's like, and at first there was a lot of mistrust of that. Turns out that was accurate, but also now we're coming back around to like, if no one knows how this code works and nobody actually wrote it, how can I as a consumer trust that product to handle
1,000%. 1,000%. And even if it's safe today, again, it may not be safe tomorrow or next month.
Megan.
Yeah.
We are near time on this, our 7th episode. Would you like to take us out? Now we have plans for this.
Yeah.
We will be coming back, but not straight away.
Not straight away. It's summer. We're going to take a break over the summer to touch grass. And then we'll be back in the fall. We'll be back in the fall with season 2.
Excited for that?
Yeah. And by then, lots of things will have changed.
There will be, by fall, there should be some things for that Flatlander studio will be excited to show with you.
We may pop in for a special announcement, special clips, special shorts or something like that.
We should do a clip show.
We could do that. Outtakes. I don't know if we have any. The spider one. Like the spider. Yeah. Okay, thank you for this talk. The question necessarily isn't can AI code, it's can it test, right? Can it test itself? And we'll see. I think that is TBD. But in the meantime, over the course of the summer, still follow, connect, subscribe. We're here on YouTube and, of course, on LinkedIn and all your favorite socials for now.
For the time being.
For now.
Thanks, everybody.
We'll see you next time on the Flatlander Show where, what did I say? All the grids are good and every button does what it should. See ya.